Purple! Hey, I really feel comfortable around him. Yeah, we do. All I need is you. I was trying to find me a DILF. Okay. Okay. Is that good? Look, I don't know what I'm doing in this game. And I don't know if I should be getting hearts or what if the fuck that was. Amanda sticks her head out of her room. Father! Wanna go to the coffee spoon? Oh, so you get called cool once, and now you're the cool dad who hangs out at coffee shops and listens to neo jazz and stuff. Amanda, are you gonna bring your laptop and your leather brown journal so you can work on your poetry and anthology? Look, honey, do you want me to buy you coffee or not? Let me grab my laptop and my leather-bound journal. Oh my god, it's her. Amanda and I make the short walk over to the coffee spoon. This place is quite quiet today. Just a few people hanging out and reading books in their cozy little nooks. I walk up to the counter and see a familiar pierced face. Hey, you were the dude I yelled at a bunch the other night. Amanda casts a sideways glance at me. He tried to sell me shirts. And who you might be, miss? This is my daughter, Amanda. An honor to make your acquaintance. My name is Pablo. Did I mention that I make witch house music? I wouldn't call witch house music, but okay. A piercing blow to my ego, though not one that will dissuade my need to impress you. Purple! Hey, hi Matt. Matt comes out from washing dishes in the back room to meet Amanda and I. He and I high five as well as fellow cool people do. You know you are not cool when you say as fellow cool people do. Alright, Pablo, now what do we do with customers again? Right, yes. Pablo clears his throat. Hello, good folk of Maple Bay. Can I interest you in a tasty caffeinated beverage? A smashing pumpkin spice latte, please. Classic. And you? Decaf cutie. I'm gonna do the Americano football. Americano football, please. Our coffee is as strong as that band's feelings. Good choice. I don't get it. Oh, American football is a sport, but it's also this emo band that made a good album and then waited over a decade and then made another good album, and the music was very sad and sometimes featured sad trumpets. And I'm over explaining the joke again. Let me right out. Pablo gets to work making our drinks while Matt observes him. He'll get the hang of it. For as goofy of a dude as he is, kid works hard. Hey man, that concert was a lot of fun. We should hang out again. Hell yes. I'm actually gonna be training Pablo in a couple hours and was going to go record shopping. Want to come along? Absolutely. Pablo brings us our drinks and Amanda buries herself in her laptop. I spend my time sipping my drink and cracking jokes with Matt. Last time we hung out, he told me that he had trouble hanging out with other people, but for some reason he and I talk and joke like old buds. It's weird. I really feel comfortable around him. Yeah, we do. Once Matt feels comfortable leaving Pablo on his own, I say goodbye to Amanda and we start walking to the record store. Have you ever been here before? No, I mean, we have a record player sitting in the living room, but all I have are 2 copies of Frampton Comes Alive. Oh, this should be fun then. We're gonna find you some good stuff. All I need is you. The walls of the store are packed with posters, artwork, stickers, and records. A few people mill around, flipping through milk crates of albums. Some indie band is playing through the speakers. It's a nice vibe. So, why do people still buy records? Doesn't it count that I dated up at this point? It's cool that in this day and age, we have just about every song ever created available instantaneously on our phones. There's something about holding an album and getting to see the artwork in your hands that I'll always love. Honestly, that's true. It's pretty cool. That's why I tried to get as many of the records that I love in physical form as possible. Man, this is a little overwhelming. Here, let me help you find something that you might like. If you were a milkshake, what flavor would you be? Um, Cookies and cream, vanilla, strawberry, purple. Just purple. I'm gonna say cookies and cream. If you can only buy one type of candle set for the rest of your life, what would it be? Lavender, for sure. But they don't have like lavender. So, summer breeze. I love cherry blossom. I'm gonna do cherry blossom. What's your favorite ambient sound? Rain, bowling alley, Star Trek, bridge, ambience, howls of the bone chorus. I'm gonna say rain. I love the rain. What's your dream vacation spot? Inside an active volcano, living off the fat of the land de Pisa, starting a new life in the Baltics. Definitely not my backyard. I love to travel. Maybe starting a new life. What is your deepest and darkest fear? Worry that people are nice to me only because they want something from me. I fear that I don't deserve happiness and won't ever get it. What if nobody exists but me and I fabricated this universe? Saying you too when the waiter tells you to enjoy your food. Oh my god. I say that so much and I just get so embarrassed and just ashamed of myself. But like now I'm kind of used to it because I say it so often, just out of like a habit. And like that's actually happened to me at work. Like I work as a cashier sometimes, and one time I was like, enjoy your things, and the person said you too, and I was like, no I won't. And they just left. Yeah. Okay, bad things for a moment. Oh, I know just the thing. Matt runs to the other end of the store, returns holding a record behind his back. He shows it to me. This is Evil Friends by Portugal, the man. Danger Mouse came on with this album to produce it, and I think was the perfect blend of what PTM does and what Danger Mouse does. Super fun, super catchy, you'll love it. Whoa dude, thanks for the recommendation. You're gonna have a great time with it, promise. Matt and I bring out our records to the cash register. A young girl with a septum ring and buzz cut stands behind the counter with one earbud in. Usual stuff today, Matt. Just some light pickups. Matt places 3 albums on the counter. Swear I'm good at this by Diet Sig. Forever by Mystery Skulls and Greatest Hits by Remote Drive. Tight. The cashier rings Matt up, hands back his albums in a bag. She stares at me suspiciously. Who's the nerd? That nerd is my buddy Purple. Purple, this beacon of human charm, is Molly. I got kicked out of art school for destroying my paintings at the end of every critique. Lovely to meet you. Anyway, Matt, is the open mic night salon? You know it. Are the Third Waves gonna do a special acoustic performance? I might see if I can get a few of the girls together. There's an open mic night going on? Yeah, dude, we do it every month at the Coffee Spoon. Some amazing talent always comes up though. Got a flyer for it right here. You and Amanda should come by that night. Matt blushes. I mean, if you're not doing anything. Will Vacant Veil be playing? If only. I finished paying for my record and we head out of the store. Man, what a trip down memory lane. I haven't been in a record shop like that since Vance had shag carpenting. We would always go to my friend Cynthia Chapman's house beforehand and smoke pot in her basement like we were so slick. Our parents definitely knew what we were doing. Wait, when was the last time you smoked pot? Matt stops and thinks for a moment. It's been decades. Dude, me too. Where do you even get pot now? Is that even what the kids call it these days? I don't know, but I bet I could find out. Do you want to get high and listen to our new records? Yeah, why not say no to drugs? Chat, always say no to drugs. Always say no. Matt pulls up his phone and starts texting. After a few minutes, he looks up and smiles at me. Molly's got a hookup. Says to me in an alley near the coffee shop. You never go in that alley. Okay, if it turns out it's the feds, you make a break for it, and I'll take the heat. Just promise me that you'll raise Amanda like she was your own. What the fuck, dude? You realize that weed has been legalized in the state, right? I definitely knew that. Yeah, I was about to say. But we live in dangerous times. Who knows what lurks in the seedy underbelly of Maple Bay? We could find ourselves on the wrong end of a deal gone bad. Just look out for Amanda. I swear. Oh, here's our guy. Coming around the corner of one of those nasty grease dumpsters shrouded in darkness is a lean figure dressed in all black. Excuse me, Mr. Trogman. Surprised the person almost jumps out of their skin. It's Lucia and Damon's son. Who sent you? We're cool, man. We're cool. Says who? For all I know, you could be with the feds. Actually, we just prove you're cool. What? I need to know that you're down or a bolt. Show him you're not wearing a wire. Impress him with your extensive knowledge of current drug lingo. Cite mutually assessed destruction. Oh, assured, not assessed. Whoops. Oh, show I'm not wearing. Okay. I've seen this in a cup. I left my shirt to prove I'm not wearing a wire. Oh Jesus, put that away, please. Look, it's fine. I get it. Buzz cut Molly said you were coming. Right. Now that formalities are out of the way, let's make a deal. All right, how much do you want? One. One what? Yeah. It means weed, Lucian. Yeah, but how much? One. Oh my god, look, here. Take this and give me $10. Just don't tell my dad. Let's forget this ever happened. I won't tell your dad if you don't. Lucian hands me a baggie of something and disappears down the alleyway. I put it in and take a whiff. Smells like genuine drugs, yes sir. That went smoothly. Oh my god. I should have said no, but it's okay, whatever. Yeah, we should get off public property before we smoke this. Great idea, let's head back to my place, yeah? Matt and I walk to our cul-de-sac and stop at a gas station on the way to buy rolling papers and soda. I feel like I'm 16 again. Carmencita's having a sleepover tonight, so that gives us all the time we need to do drugs. Also, let's do some drugs. Oh my god, dude. Matt pulls one of the records out of his bags and puts it on for us. I plop down on a comfy leather couch and look around his place. There are a bunch of band posters and his record collection takes up an entire wall. Whoa, what a collection. Been collecting my whole life. It's nice to finally get them all in one place after being on the road for so much of my life. I had to ask my parents to hold on to them for me. Matt sits down next to me and we light the marijuana out on the coffee table. Do you want to do the honors? Please, it's your house. If you say so. Matt pulls out some rolling papers and sprinkles some of the beatnik tobacco onto a piece. He starts rolling it back and forth, and the paper breaks almost immediately, spilling tracks all over the couch. Never was too good at this. Matt tries again and was able to successfully roll a nice looking weed cigarette called a blunt. He hands me a lighter and the blunt, I think. I take it. Well, let's open the nug, smoke some of that gateway drug, rip off that gold. Oh my god. I can't. I'd rather play Monster Prom at this point. And that's even worse. Oh my god. Okay. Let's say that. I don't know if that's what people call it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I light the joint and inhale deeply. This is not what I remembered. It's been a while though. Maybe pipe drugs have just gotten more potent since the last time I smoked. I pass the joint to Matt and cough a little. Should it sting this much, or am I just a baby? Matt takes a hit and his eyes go wide. That's not weed. Oh god. Did we develop a taste for meth? No, it's... Matt takes another hit and one says, yeah, this is oregano. I sniff the air. Yeah, that would definitely explain why it smells like a pizza place in here. That little punk ripped us off. Oh well, we can still relax and enjoy the music sober. You know what? You're right. We sit and listen through the Diet Sig album that Matt brought, which is catchy as hell. I look around the room again and see photos of Carmencita growing up. I spot a young woman with a huge smile in one of the pictures with the two. Who's that? Oh, that's Rosa. She was Carmencita's mom. She died when Carmencita was young. I'm sorry to hear that. Amanda lost Alex at a young age too. I can understand how hard that must have been. I look around again, spotting a framed gig poster hanging on the wall. On it, there's illustration of Matt and Rosa surrounded by flowers. The cursive lettering reads, "Stillness the Dancing." It looks like they played the Soundgarden over a decade ago. This is sad. What the hell? I thought I was just trying to get like a date with the dad. Like what happened? I was trying to find me a DILF. Okay, maybe no. Maybe I shouldn't have said no. Oh my god. I need to shut up. I swear I need to stop sometimes. Are you two in a band together? Yeah, that was the reason I was touring so much, and when I was younger, we traveled the whole country in this rinky-dink little van. It was hard to start, but once we started gaining notoriety and seeing how much our songs meant to kids, it was just incredible. Well, that seems like a life some people only dream of. It was, and it was difficult at the same time. I couldn't have done it without someone by my side. Rosa and I knew we couldn't do it forever. The long hours on the road, missing your family, sleeping in a van, all that stuff. So once she became pregnant with Carmencita, we put down roots in our favorite town to play in, right here. Since she was a kid, Rosa always had a dream to own a quiet little coffee shop. She died before it opened. I'm so sorry. Don't be. I'm not really sure what to say. I couldn't possibly count the number of times I told people the same thing after Alex died. Matt gets up to flip the record. Next to the turntable, I notice a dusty piano. Do you play? Oh, I'm out of practice. I used to jam all of the keys back in the day. Oh yeah? I fronted the hottest 7-piece ska band that Eagle Rock Bay High School had to offer. No way you had a ska face. Phase of ska never dies. Except for Scammunist Manifesto, who broke up after the senior talent show to pursue solo careers. Dude, that's so rad. Matt pulls out the piano bench. Give me some of that two-tone love. Oh man, let's see if I still got it. I sit down at the piano. Go with the classic stick to ska roots. Stick to the roots. Yeah, I think I'm doing it. I'm playing ska. Wait, that was just Smoke on the Water. Matt, I've forgotten how to play. The deep purple is always appreciated nonetheless. Alright, buddy, can you top that? I shouldn't. Oh, come on. No, it's been a long time. Oh, I kind of want to push it, but I don't know if I should drop it. Okay, never too late. Matt, you just sat through a butchered version of Deep Purple Smoke on the Water. How much worse can it be? Matt stays at the piano for a second. Okay. Okay. Is that good? Look, I don't know what I'm doing in this game. And I don't know if I should be getting hearts or what if the fuck that was. What is happening, dude? What was that? Was that? Was that eggplants? Like, bro. Okay. Matt closes his eyes and runs his finger over the keys. He breathes in deep and starts playing a melody. If I didn't know that he hadn't played the piano for a long time, I would never have guessed it. Matt plays a soft, sweet tune filled with emotion. I've never heard this before. This is one of his original works? This is so cool. Matt finishes the song and finally opens his eyes. What was that? That was amazing. Oh, it's nothing. Come on, man. That was killer. Are you gonna pull that out for open mic tonight? Oh no, I never play at those. Well, why not? You're really good. I just don't do it anymore. I just don't like being up there and alone, having so many people stare at me. It doesn't feel fun anymore. I can sense that Matt's getting uncomfortable at the thought of it. I won't push him any further. Alright, man, but I hope you know how beautiful your music is. Thanks. Aww. Matt and I sit and listen to more records until it's getting late, and I decide that I need to go to bed. Matt walks me to my door. Let's never tell anyone about the oregano, okay? Deal. Wait, can I tell my doctor I don't know anything about how the hell am I smoking oregano? I think we'll be fine. Night, dude. I smile. Night. I walk inside the house, and the house is dark, save for the sliver of light coming from beneath Amanda's door. I knock lightly on the door and enter Amanda's room. She's sitting at her desk with her camera, editing photos. Hey, Amanda. Amanda swivels around her chair, faces me, and slumps down. What smells like pizza parlor in here? What? Nothing. So, what's up? Dad, I'm hungry.
Whoa.
Wait, no. I'm hungry. No. Oh, Dad. Amanda collapses on the floor. I promised myself I'd never let it come to this. Sorry, kiddo, you set it up. I spike it down. You're a monster. Want some spaghetti? Yes, please. I love this. So, aw. Amanda and I boil pasta and heat up sauce in the pan. Well, I boil pasta and heat up sauce while Amanda watches. Despite my best efforts, I'm not able to set it on fire. How is the record collecting? Adeline, I smoked oregano. I'm just letting you know. On my second date, I smoked oregano with my date. Love life is good. Amanda and I have a nice dinner before she goes back to her room to do photography stuff. I end up watching True Life. I'm a house hunter. They're staging an intervention for the house hunter, who is crying uncontrollably over the color of the walls. They know they can paint the walls of their house any color they want, right? Matt's song is still stuck in my head all night. Wait, did we not go?
Oh man, I just can't wait for your next hit.
Okay. Successful! It's a successful date. Jesus. King of Carol Flowers. Well, it's been a long day. I'm just about ready to pack it in. After a few bites of ice cream from the freezer, I turned off all the lights and walked down the hall to my room. I wonder if Amanda's still awake. That kid needs some sleep. I pass her room. I can hear a faint sound, but I can't quite make out what it is. I get a little closer. Is she crying? I knock gently on the door. Hey, Amanda. The crying immediately stops. Not right now. Her voice sounds strange. She sniffles. I need to make sure she's okay. I open the door. Amanda, no! In the dark, I see Amanda's outline in the middle of her bed, knees hugged up against her body. Is everything okay? I don't want to talk about it. Did something happen? No, nothing happened. Go away. Something must have happened. Amanda, get out. Okay, okay. I quickly leave her room and shut the door behind me. Once the door closes, I can hear her crying again. No. Wow. What has her so upset? She seemed fine earlier. She's usually so open with me. Did I do something wrong? Is she mad at me? Guess if she wasn't before, she definitely is now. I can't even remember the last time she snapped at me like that. I have a hard time falling asleep, but when I finally do, I'm still thinking about Amanda. After a long night of very little sleep, I roll out of bed and make myself a pot of coffee. Amanda should be up for school soon. She'll be willing to go to talk. Maybe she'll be willing to talk about whatever is bothering her. About 10 minutes before she's supposed to leave, Amanda comes out of her room and makes a beeline for the freezer. Morning, Amanda. Morning. She drops a frozen waffle in a toaster and slams the freezer door. She won't look at me. Thanks. So, anything big going on at school today? No. Okay. You need a ride to school? No. Want some coffee? Amanda pulls the toaster lever up and takes her still freezer burned waffle out before it's finished cooking. I have to go. Amanda picks up her bag and storms out. Okay. I haven't seen her act like this in a long time. It's usually short-lived, but it always hurts. Hopefully this blows over and things are back to normal soon. I sit back at the kitchen table and look at a picture of Amanda and I hanging on a wall. I'm teaching her to ride a bike. Her face is a mixture of excitement and pure, unaltered fear. I remember how determined she was. Every time she would fall off and scrape her knees, she would get up and try it again. Finally, I had to stop her because she was bleeding everywhere. Then she started to cry because she didn't think she needed bandages and wanted to keep trying. As he put the bike away, she just stood in the middle of the street and screamed. Then I took her for ice cream and it was like nothing even happened. After giving it a bit of thought, I decided that if I force her to talk about it, I'm only going to make things worse. But I have an idea. I start rummaging around for ingredients. I hear Amanda walk in the door. Instead of heading for the kitchen like she usually does, she makes a beeline for her room. She's clearly trying to avoid me. Hey, Pumpkin. What? Can you come here for a second? There's a moment of silence. Yeah. I wanted to say sorry about last night. I'm just worried about you, kiddo. I get scared when I know something's wrong, and I get even more scared when I feel like I can't do anything about it. So just whatever it is, and you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but whatever it is, know that you have a dad in your corner who wants to make you happy. Honey, you know I'm bad with words, so I was hoping I could speak a language we both understand. I pull a cake out of the refrigerator and place it on the table. Hopefully the frosting has set by now. Ta-da! Dad. It took me a really long time because I ran out of red frosting somewhere around sad and had to start over. And this is beautiful. It's strawberry. Amanda gives me a big ol' hug. I grab some plates and forks and serve us some delicious cake. Oh, so it's really stupid. What is? This whole thing. I know I've been really weird lately and there's just, I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like I might have to make you a chart. I'm listening. Do you want me to take notes? I guess I should start from the top. So, you know how Emma R is going to that fancy art school in California, right? Emma R. I think Emma P was the best one. The other one? I guess you're not technically wrong. It's good to have fallbacks like that one. Anyways, ever since she got the acceptance letter, I've been feeling like she's drifting away, you know? She's been spending a lot more time with Grace and Emma P. I just thought it was all in my head for a while, but then I found out from Rosie M that both of the Emmas, Grace and Noah, all went to a party at Mackenzie F's. On the same night, they all told me they were busy studying for the Calc AB final. Yikes. So another important piece of information is God, this is embarrassing. I have a crush on Noah, and that's a thing. Whoa, I had no idea. I definitely didn't know that, okay? You're a bad liar. So are you. I learned from the worst. Anyways, so the only person I told about the crush was Emma R, and she promised not to tell anybody. I didn't confront them about the party thing because I didn't want to start drama, so I just kept quiet and keep going about my business. Amanda sighs. And then one day I invite everybody out to get nachos at the mall, and after not texting me back for like 2 hours, even though none of them ever put their phones down for more than 60 seconds, they all say they're busy, like simultaneously. So I tell them, never mind, I'll just eat nachos at home, right? But we were out of chips, and I really wanted nachos. Totally understandable. So I go to the mall anyways. I get to the food court, and who do I see but Grace, Emma P, Emma R, and Noah, all hanging out together and eating nachos without me. What? It gets better. I'm standing by the escalators watching them, and I realize that Noah has his arm around Emma R, which is kind of weird, right? But then they kiss. No. But anyways, nobody will say anything. I'm just like, you guys suck. Which I realize is not the most eloquent thing to say. But I was very angry and really embarrassed, and I just wanted to get out of there. So I left without nachos, might I add, which only further contributed to this shitty day, and immediately drafted a super long text to the group chat asking them why they've been so weird. They were all dating in secret for like months. So I told her that she's being a really terrible friend, and she's like, well, if you think I'm so terrible, then just stop being my friend. And I was like, okay. And then she left me on red. There's so much more, but honestly, it's just all really stupid teenager stuff. The bottom line is that everybody dropped me, half of my grade, hates me, and now I have no friends. Amanda, I'm so sorry. I almost expected it from everybody else, but Emma R's been there since Dad died. I can't believe she would just stab me in the back like that. I'm not even that mad that she's dating Noah. I'm just upset that she lied to me about it for so long. Amanda stabs at the remnants of her cake. Okay, take it back. I'm kind of mad she's dating Noah. Like, what did I do wrong? Why did everyone just suddenly decide I'm not cool anymore? Why wasn't I enough? I don't understand. And as mad as I am at everybody, like, I miss them, Dad. Amanda looks so dejected, I almost can't take it. What could I possibly say to help?
Oh, no.
Anyways, that's it. That's the whole sordid tale. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for more hot gossip. Oh, I know it's pretty dumb. It's not dumb. No, it's a stupid thing to be upset over. Amanda, your feelings are real. Don't ever be mad at yourself for having feelings. I guess. Unless you've been secretly a robot who's been approximating human feelings this whole time. Dad, if I was a robot, I would have transformed into a monster truck a long time ago. But seriously, I know you probably don't want advice, but I feel like it's my duty as a dad to bestow upon you a few nuggets of fatherly wisdom. Real friends don't do that. High school sucks. Not all friendships last forever. High school sucks. I'll keep that in mind. I looked down at the table. Did we just eat that whole cake? Yes, we did just eat that whole cake. Well, good talk. Amanda gets up to her room. Before she closes her door, she turns around. You Pops? Yes? Thank you. You are always welcome. Love you, Amanda.
You too, Dad.
Oh! Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you for, tuning in. I have a date!
Quiet summer night.